you're always on time for me. And no, you never told lies to me. Tell me when you want me, Lord. You can call me your property. You never been rude, no. Don't know what's going on anymore. And I could try and do things my way, but it just ain't the same. How can I replace your love? You got so much to give, and you got so much to live. I don't deserve what you give. Lord, I do not deserve your love. You got so much to give, and you got so much to live. I don't deserve it. You keep giving me so much love, so much love, so much love, so much love. Whoa. Lord, how can I replace your love? You got so much to give. You give so much love, so much love. Whoa. You keep serving me the life, no way. I see me doing life your way. Trying to find you with a light locator. That's what I want you in my life for. Everything goes your way. I'll never let a thing go, no way. You know I got a thing for your grace. I shouldn't try to do things my way, no. How can I replace your love? You got so much to give, and you got so much to live. I don't deserve what you give. No, I do not deserve your love. You got so much to give, and you got so much to live. I don't deserve it. You keep giving me so much love, so much love, so much love, so much love. Whoa. Lord, how can I replace your love? You got so much to give. You give so much love, so much love. Whoa. So much. So much. No telling what you would do for me. You love me like a war and you keep me in company. I don't know why you would do for me. You hold me so close and you keep me in company. Lord, how can I replace your love? You got so much to give, and you got so much to live. I don't deserve what you give. No, I do not deserve your love. You got so much to give, and you got so much to live. I don't deserve it. You keep giving me so much love, so much love, so much love, so much love. Whoa. Lord, how can I replace your love? You got so much to give. You give so much love, so much love. Whoa. So much. So much.
History repeats itself. The new dynamic duo, 107.9 FM and 980 AM, WDDO, The Glory. Come live stream with us at www.wddo.live. That's www.wddo.live. Download our app in your Google Play and your Apple Store. The Glory of Middle Georgia. Take WDDO along with you everywhere you
Connecting
go.
the community through gospel.
The new 107.9 FM, W300EB,
Macon and WDDO 980 AM,
Perry.
Macon.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
Right.
Well, I guess we're on, Mayor.
Okay.
Good afternoon, and welcome to another edition of Ask Elaine. This is your voice, Elaine Lucas, welcoming you to the show. We want to welcome those who've tuned in on AM, FM, and those who are looking at us right here on the Glory Live. And we all, as always, want to express appreciation to all of you who tune in and who share in with us the information that we try to provide every week. We've got a lot of interesting things, tidbits of information that we want to give you today to make you smarter. But I am joined today by first of all, Ricky Crawford is on as always. Jeanette Goff is on. Good afternoon to you with us, and we'll acknowledge each person who comes into the chat. And Pastor Lisa is there as always, and we appreciate all of you. You can call in, you can put comments in the chat, whatever you like. This is your program for you, presented for you every week, and we certainly want your input. Our special guest today, we will be joined, I think, very shortly by our co-host, special co-host, Mr. Herbert Denard. Uh, I don't know, he might have gone to sleep. Anyway, he'll wake up and remember he's supposed to be here. But our very, very special guest, and one that we are just always so happy to be able to get into the studio when he's not traveling, when he's not working in some other part of the world. This is none other than our mayor, our one and only mayor, the Honorable C. Jack Ellis. And we are just so pleased to have you. Welcome to Ask Elaine.
Well, thank you very much. And thank you so much for allowing me to come and share with your vast audience.
Our audience is growing.
I know.
It is growing. I talk to people all the time who never put their name in the chat. They never let you know they're there, but they have been listening most of the years that we've been on the air. And so we are just so happy to have all of you. Mayor, what do you have as far as opening remarks?
Well, I would like to say I've just returned from Ghana, our sister city in Elmina, and I wear the shirt here that Dr. Ficklin and the administration would send some T-shirts over. Not T-shirts, but these shirts recognizing our 25th anniversary of Twinning. And of course, you were there at when we created the Sister City 25 years ago.
Right.
So we celebrated the 25th anniversary, and it was quite a celebration.
Well, you remember you allowed me, Dr. Ficklin, he wasn't doctor then, Henry Ficklin, and a number of people to travel with you in, what was the year, 2000?
That was 2002.
2002 to Elmina.
2001. That's
2001. Yeah.
Because we just celebrated 25 years.
Yeah, and it was an experience, and one that I'll never, ever forget. I was looking at one or two pictures from then. I had braids and stuff, and it was just a wonderful experience. And I've always been grateful to you for allowing me to be a part of that. Former council member Timley went.
Yes.
There were some people from the medical center.
Yeah, Mercy
and
University.
As a matter of fact, you took some medical equipment.
Exactly.
And also some things for the schools.
Yes.
Over there.
Yes.
We visited some schools.
Yes.
And it was quite sobering to see some of the things, some of the deficiencies in some of the educational systems and the healthcare systems. The clinic was like a big open building with no doors, and it seems like I remember. And the schools, the kids they had one book in the classroom, and the teacher was writing everything on the board, and the students had to copy everything. All of those things are just cemented into my brain, which makes me even more concerned about our students not getting their education. and about our people who are not getting adequate health care.
And we also visited that dungeon. They call it the castle,
Oh,
the dungeon
yeah.
where the enslaved
It was so
people.
cold
Yes.
in there, and so
Yeah.
oh, it, you had to feel something.
Yes.
Going in there. It's just so very cold, and you could feel the despair, the sorrow in there.
The door, a door of no return.
Yes.
That's what it's called.
Yes.
When they went through that door and got on the ship and came across the Middle Passage, those who made it wound up here in Georgia and South Carolina and other places
Yeah.
throughout the country to help build this country. We've just celebrated. Matter of fact, that festival that I just attended was on the 4th, well, the same time as the 4th of July, and it was going on here, the Independence,
Mhm.
but they were celebrating there how they've always celebrated, and that is the end of the year, and it's their year, end of their fishing season, and people just coming together and having a great time. Weren't really thinking about what was
I
going on.
remember when you were, what was the word, installed?
Yes,
was that the word?
installed,
See, I
yeah.
remember a lot from
Yeah,
that
yeah.
trip. I was at home when we flew in. When the plane came in, it flew in over the treetops.
Yes.
And that's what I remember. All of that green, those green trees, and flying in right over the
Yeah.
treetops. It
Yeah.
was just such an experience.
And I encourage people to visit Africa, especially Ghana and our sister city, Elmina, if you have an opportunity to,
Uh-huh.
because like you said, you learn so much and you appreciate what we have here, as well as the connectivity that we have with the people there, because after all, we all at some point, excuse me, one of our ancestors, some of our ancestors
Oh, yeah.
came through that door of no return at some point. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to welcome some more of our guests. Don Druitt has joined us. Pastor Lisa, of course, says hello to you. You can see your comments there. Yeah, Pastor Lisa says nice collar shirt.
Thank you.
Ava Jean Sullivan Henderson, great good afternoon. And our distinguished Macon Mayor, C. Jack Ellis, awesome. Yeah, okay. I think we have called Randy. Randy Crawford is with us, and I think I've called all the other names. When people take the time to listen in to the program, I certainly want to recognize them. We have a few more, and as they come into the chat, we will recognize them. But Mayor, a lot of people think of Africa, and you only learn what you see, what you're given, what you experience. And our experience over the years has been in Africa that, folks that well,
backwards, flinging out of trees, Tarzan, and all that
exactly.
nonsense,
That's what we have been fed. That's what other folks have been fed, and they love that, because that is the way they think of many of us here in the United States, people of color. But just recently, I've been reading articles about certain sections of Africa that have discovered oil and have taken command of their natural resources, their mineral riches, gold.
Yeah.
And they have
Cobalt.
They have sent the French, especially many. France was the country that had laid claim to a lot of the African countries. And I was listening to watching a video that said even up until the last several years, they have still laid claim to some African countries, but many of them are breaking free. They're expelling the foreigners from their land, and they're regaining control. So in Ghana, when we went over there, they had not discovered the oil.
Exactly.
Then tell us about what they're doing with their riches.
What they have done in Ghana is something to behold. Once they discovered oil, of course, they always had gold, because it was the Gold Coast before it became Ghana. When they got the independence in '57, being the first country on the continent to gain independence. And so that when Kwame Nkrumah kicked the British out, and they still had that goal, but they discovered oil a few years ago, and lots of it. So they have been able to take that oil and they've the money from that oil and reinvested in education, infrastructure, and health. So when you talk about those little health clinics that we saw at that time, now they're pretty modern. They have modern equipment.
There he is, y'all.
And they're
Hey,
Herbert. You got
Herbert, we're talking about modern Ghana, modern day Ghana, and other African countries that have discovered oil, and they've retaken their gold,
their resources,
and now they're making a difference. And the mayor was talking about how they're using their resources. Okay, go ahead.
And they are leading the charge right now. The president of Ghana is leading the charge on reparation. That he, thinks that Africans throughout the world should have reparations, starting right there in Ghana, because he said, "Hey, you took our people and took them there, and they built. They could have been here building our country, but they were there building your country, so they're seeking reparations." So I appreciate him. But right now with this high tech, what's going on with this high tech with these electric cars and cell phone, without the minerals and the resources that's in the ground in Africa, none of that stuff could operate. I mean, you look at the Democratic Republic of Congo, we hear about Ebola, but they have 80% of all of the stuff that we need to go in a cell phone, that goes into these batteries, that goes into solar, solar panels and everything else. It's there, and the Chinese are there, and they are getting it. But now, of course, President Trump has gone in to the Democratic Republic of Congo, cut a deal, and said, we want to have all the stuff because Elon Musk, he would be a pauper if he couldn't get the resources that's available in Africa to make all these high-tech industries grow that they're having. So but what Africans are doing now is saying, wait a minute, we want value addition. We want to add to, you can't just take our stuff out anymore. We want to process it here, and we want to be paid for it. So I'm glad they're doing that.
I am so thrilled that the countries are now realizing, but they were subduing those folks by force. It was Herbert.
Not only by force, they killed some of them. Patrice Lumumba, the first Congo president they killed him because he was looking at other options like China, Russia to get things rather than them. And it's been found out that America, USA, had him assassinated. Paid off some folks in there.
Because they wanted the
national
uranium.
resources.
And
they wanted the national resources.
And especially the uranium. Because at that time, you remember that Belgium had been it was a Belgian colony. And when they got independence, but Belgium was still setting the price of the uranium in Brussels. So when he became prime minister, he said, well, this is not going to happen anymore. We're going to set the price in uranium in our capital, not in your capital. And they said, you don't understand. We are controlling uranium. And like you said, Herbert, 2 weeks later, he was dead.
The CIA was involved. They paid off a guy named Kasavubu and some other people to have him assassinated.
Right.
Yeah.
And they, when Nkrumah left the country to visit China, when I think it was Nkrumah, when he returned, they had took over his country.
Yep.
The government was behind all of that. They have abused and misused Africans. And a lot of times the Africans went around with it, but I like the loose spirit they have now that this is too much, because a lot of people, when they get in government, they take advantage of all the opportunities.
Yes, they do. And even right here in little old Macon, Georgia, we have some people taking advantage of positions.
Well, speaking of taking advantage of Macon, Georgia, because you said we talk about worldly things, but everything starts right here, all politics local.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you. I came back early enough last week to be able to attend the Water Authority meeting, the board meeting, And I want to thank you for being the only one to stand up for the poor people and say they cannot afford another $2. A lot of people think $2 is not a lot of money. $2 is a lot of money for a lot of people.
Right.
There are some people in this town right now at the end of the month would like to have $2 to buy another loaf of bread or a dozen of eggs. So I want to just thank you.
Well, I appreciate it. And that's
people.
what service is about. That's what you do when you go and beg people to vote for you. And then they honor you by allowing you to represent them at the table. You don't sit there and get all you can for yourself and then, kowtow to them. You don't do that.
You know what surprised me, and I hate to go back in the years, but when Albert Billingsley, J.J. Lucas, Willie Hill, and there was somebody else, but it was four of us in camping.
Chambers?
No, he had left it. But even when camping, all of us got together. We found one person that wanted to do the right thing, and we changed things. I mean, we absolutely changed things. But not at every board meeting, every time they had a board meeting, we was in the majority because the city sent us somebody, the county sent us somebody, and we was two elected, me and JJ, and or me and Chambers. We had four. Four is the magic number.
Yeah.
And then we had a white guy down there that voted the right way most of the time. 90% of the time, Bob Campen voted the right way. We had a majority.
Yeah.
And we changed and made a lot of changes in that. Now, same water board, the mayor, let me tell you what he does. He sends 2 Republicans to the water authority.
Right.
And that makes blacks in the minority.
That's Howell and Valerie Wynn. Those are the 2 Republicans that come from the county commission. There is absolutely no reason, since there's no funding coming from county government to the water authority.
And it should be.
There should be. There was some with the SPLOST, but that's going to cease. But there is no reason for the county to send 2 elected Republicans to the water board who have a vote on every issue on the county commission and have a vote on your water rates.
We
got to change that.
We in Macon and Bibb County are the majority of the people who live here are African Americans. And on the water authority, we only have 2.
I noticed that last week when I was there.
And I appreciate your presence there. It makes a difference when you have people who stand for something to come and be there.
And then on the school board, we are in the minority again.
That's right.
We didn't used to be in the. We are the majority in the city. 80% of the people that go to the school system are African Americans.
Right.
And we have a majority of the people that are elected on the board are white.
And they're talking about increasing class size.
And closing schools.
That's the last
wrong direction.
But I agree with everything. My main point is, I don't want to get off the main point I'm trying to make. We are the majority.
Absolutely.
And we used to have a majority, but some things have happened. And the way our mind is, we are electing the majority of the people on the school board that are white.
So we're giving away power. What we're saying, we're giving away political power. We have all the political power. Robert Brown said to me once. Robert Brown wasn't from Macon, but I had a great deal of respect for Robert Brown. And he told me once. He said, "I believe that black people in Macon are afraid of power. They're afraid to."
I'm about to begin to believe it myself that we don't want it. We've got a phone call, y'all. Caller, welcome to Ask Elaine.
Thank you.
Caller.
Sandra D.
Are you there? Caller, welcome to Ask Elaine. Patrick Davis, maybe they'll call back. Patrick Davis has joined us. Good afternoon to you. And of course, we've said Don Druitt, who was also at the water board meeting. There were a number of people there, and y'all continue coming. Take that time and show up and let the folks know that you don't agree with the actions that are taken. And Mayor, you were talking about it's a $2 increase. It's more than that because there's an increase on the water, the sewer, and there's an increase on the stormwater fee, which was $4.99. It's going up to $7. So when you add all of those increases together, it's much more. Plus, the fees were increased for 3 years. So January 2027, there will be that increase. Then January of 28, there will be another increase. And January of 29, there will be another increase. So the board voted for a three years of increases.
Wow.
Yes, they did.
So some of the what they've done, because some of when is the next election? Some people will be
The
off
next
the board.
election. There's another one in 2 years, and there will be 2 positions that will be voted on: District 2 and District 3.
So
check this out.
So these people have bound the people.
Yes,
that,
they have.
that hasn't even been
Yes,
elected
yes.
to a rate increase, whether they want to support one or not.
Yes.
Wow.
And that's a way of hiding, Herbert. That's a way of hiding, because you vote 3 multi-year increases, and you don't have to go back and vote again. That's the coward's way out on this thing. Herbert.
The thing we have is they just elected a black man on the water authority. He voted for the increase. He was supported by the mayor. During the campaign was going on, his support was for the mayor, and he's paying the mayor off rather than the people that voted for him.
Well, I will say this. I think his name is Tally. I will give him credit for he did support a motion that Ms. Lucas made to only raise it by $1. He did support that, but the motion failed because there's only 2 of them. But then when he came back to vote for the increase, he did in fact vote with the majority.
So what I'm saying, he could do a motion that means nothing because it didn't pass, a motion that really raising the rate, even though we would have lost anyway. He voted on the wrong side. I'm saying,
well, no question. No question, he was on the wrong side of that vote.
When I served on the water board, they had a Booker Chambers I worked with him. He had been highly active in the community. After that, we had Javis Lucas, people that were very active in the community. We're getting people in that had showed no sign of loyalty of activity. And they get in there, and we talked. The truth is, we used to talk before we voted. We talked before the meetings, and on things coming up. Then we had some kind of form of unity. This new group coming in just got elected and voting on the wrong side.
Yeah. But back to the stormwater. People with small houses shouldn't be paying for this kind of stormwater runoff. Most of the stormwater runoff are coming from these big shopping centers around here, and even churches and schools with these big parking lots. That's where most of the stormwater is coming from. If you own a small house, you have a small driveway, you have a lawn, well, you have very little runoff, very little stormwater runoff. So that's who should be paying for stormwater. People who added shops at River Crossing and all these other places.
That's another topic we need to get back to. Let's see if this caller is here. Caller, are you there?
I'm here. Hello?
Caller?
Hello? Hello?
Okay, it indicates that there's a call, but we can't hear the caller. Let's review some of the comments. There's someone asking a question about the mayor's race, and that there are some people who are expressing. Okay, we're gonna get our caller now. She's still on. Oh, okay. Caller, welcome to Ask Elaine.
Hi, this is Sandra with the Underbell. Yes. Hello?
Well, that's what happened when you have.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we want to welcome Patrick Davis. Of course, Don Druid is with us, and we'll get back to the water board. But there's a question that's popped up in the chat. A number of people have begun to state their interest in the 2028 Macon bid mayoral race. Any opinions on this?
Well, I don't know who has expressed an opinion.
Well, Stanley Stewart has expressed
Yes,
an
he has.
interest.
He has.
Paul Bronson has expressed an interest. Those are the only two that I've heard say that. Have you heard any others, Herbert?
The mayor has expressed an interest.
Well, but he's limited. He can't run for a third term.
He's gonna bring it back up. I swear. I don't.
Well, I hope that he should put that aside. That would just be too divisive for our community. Put that aside. Served his 2 term. Now, if you want to wait out 1 term and come back, and people want it, so be it. But I don't think we should change the term.
I don't think we should either. But I'm telling you, I don't believe it's over.
Well, Trump is talking about running for a 3rd time too.
Right.
So,
Power is contagious.
Well, it doesn't look like to me that there's overwhelming support for a 3rd term. My husband introduced the legislation and gave the other legislators an opportunity to express where they were on it, and nobody was interested in that. So,
and I hate to say it, but I didn't like him introducing it.
Well, okay, a lot of people did. A lot of people didn't, but they did not understand that it is one of your jobs as a state rep or state senator is to take legislation, and there was a bill passed, a resolution passed by our commission. It was 6-3, I believe, asking for that consideration. And because he's been there as long as he has been, and because he knows one of the responsibilities is to carry forth on legislation, he presented that bill. But he also knows that you have to have a majority of our legislative delegation to sign the bill, like they did with consolidation way back to get rid of the opportunity for have another black mayor and to kick a bunch of us off of the council and the commission. Anyway, a majority of them did not. Nobody else signed it. And there were several of them who wanted it to be a referendum, wanted it to come back for a vote of the people. But everybody that I've talked to, there are a number of people who supported it, who didn't think there was a problem. But there were so many more people who did not support it. So I don't know where it's going to go, but I think you are right. The mayor probably will pursue it if he can, because he has supported some of the folks who serve us in Atlanta. So you never know how all this stuff will work out. But we'll keep you posted. But when we hear it, we'll bring it to you.
But after C. Jack Ellis was mayor, 2 terms, we haven't had, I think we're the only major city.
Right.
And we because of our legislation, consolidation, and a whole bunch of other things,
right,
we have not had but 1 black mayor.
Right.
And I'm sure there'll be others, and we should.
How long ago was you a mayor?
Oh man, I left office in 2007. 20 years ago, I left office.
It hasn't been one since.
Yeah. Well, that was the goal.
They got together and they worked things out. They had consolidation. They had other things. And right now, we all the other cities have had 2 mayors, 3 mayors.
Yeah,
and we have 0.
Columbus just elected their first black mayor.
That's right. Mr. Hughes, Mayor Hughes, who is married to Carolyn Hughley. Carolyn Hughley, who is the minority leader in the House. She served a long time. In Augusta is elected their consolidated government.
Yes.
Columbus is consolidated, and they elected black mayors. Albany, I think up until a couple of years ago, had a black mayor. I think they have a white mayor now. And of course, Atlanta. Athens just elected.
But I tell you what happened in Atlanta. When they elected Maynard Jackson, they had nothing but black mayors ever since.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, they understand
They
power.
understand. And what it does, power is not to imprison anybody else or oppress anybody else. It is just that if you're in the majority in the population, you should be represented those numbers.
We act like we in the minority.
We act like it.
When it comes down to voting, we might be in the minority for voting.
Well, I hope that 2 years from now, next year, but whoever's going to run probably will start announcing next year, and they will make their case to the people. They will lay out their vision and make their case, and either people will, accept them or they reject them. But I just hope I hope we put forth a good field.
I hope so too. Yes. Now we're going to try this caller one more time. Caller, are you there?
I'm here.
It doesn't look like it.
Hello.
But the situation that we had you, and I think after a taste of you, they said they didn't want no more.
Well, it wasn't.
Let me tell you. Let me,
I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about black folk.
Yeah, but I want to tell you something that I tried to do that we should do now, and that is take taxes off of groceries. The reason we couldn't do it when we were a separate government because the county had to agree, and Tommy Olmsted wouldn't even consider it. He was the chair of the county commission. But now that we have a combined government and the state gives local governments the authority not to tax groceries, and we are talking about affordability, and we are talking about the amount of poor people that we have in this town, we should not be taxing groceries. And so the state legislature is not involved in this because they've already created the law and said it's up to the local governments if you want to tax groceries or not. And there are a lot of cities and counties and the state they do not tax groceries. So we need to do that in this town, especially with the amount of poor people that we have in the city.
Sales tax is a regressive tax.
Most definitely.
And you're right, but somebody has to bring it up. Somebody has to get it on the ballot. And you have a lot of, I hate to say it, we had a lot of people that
it doesn't have to be on the ballot though, Herbert. It's up to the governing authority right now. They need 5 votes, and if the mayor vetoes it, of course, they need 6 to override the veto. But what they need to approve this thing, 5 votes, and anyone that's not going to vote for taking taxes off food does not deserve our vote in 2028.
Let me ask you.
The people have power.
You got black people on that board. How many you think will vote for that?
I would hope that all of them will. Most of them represent poor people, and 4 and 5 cents on a dollar is a lot of money for a lot of people.
They have people that have contributed to their campaigns. They will call some of them Negroes and tell them that you don't need this because this, and that. And when it comes down to vote, I don't believe you'll get 3 votes.
See what we have to understand. What happened? It's okay if you own a $300,000 house or $400,000, whatever it is, you'll save $50 or $75 a year on your property taxes. But who's really saving the money? The people who own these big properties around here. These industrial people. That's where the real money is being saved when you reduce property taxes. But yet you take that you shift it. That tax is right back on poor people through an increase in sales taxes. It's just not fair.
It's regressive. It's not fair. But I'm saying
regressive.
You need some black people
and some white people, as it were. You need 5 votes.
I don't think you got 5. All of the.
I think we could bring enough pressure to bear to get them to vote.
All of the white people on the commission are Republicans. If I missed it, let me help me somebody.
They are.
You're probably right.
All of the Republicans listed on there would do exactly like the mayor wanted, just like all the congressmen and senators basically do exactly what Trump wanted. I don't know how they do it. They have some kind of magic they put on them, hocus pocus, and they vote just way. I don't care how it is. And then you got 1, 2. At least 2, maybe 3 black folks that'll do exactly what he say every time.
2.
And they should be doing what the people say. They should be listening to the people who elected them.
Service is all about.
If the person gives them money for their campaign, they follow their money, not the people that put them in there.
That's why we've got to regroup and come up with a different set of rules and requirements for folks that we elect.
Yeah.
Otherwise, those folks who are out there talking about y'all been in office so long, y'all been there too long, y'all need to move aside and let us. What is it gaining us to just change somebody out who's first of all scared, and then secondly who's bought out, and thirdly who has no sense of their blackness? You got to first of all be proud of being black in order to serve black folks, and that's what I believe.
And they'll send you to these different classes. What's the name of some of these classes, Elaine?
You're talking about leadership making.
Leadership making, and they whitewash them.
They train our smartest and brightest.
And when those Negroes come out, they think like they white,
and they stop talking loud. They stop talking.
Well,
that's not going to help us.
Maybe some of them got to be shamed. Like you'd mentioned Maynard Jackson. Herbert, you will recall this in 1981 when Maynard was ending his term, his 2-year term, and Andrew Young was running against Sidney Marcus, a white guy.
I remember good.
And there was some black preachers that went over there and was supported, and some other people, black men and women that were supporting Sidney Marcus against Andy Young of all people. And the media asked Maynard, said, how do you explain this? These black people supporting Sidney Marcus over Andy Young. He's with Dr. King. And Maynard, only Maynard could say this. He looked in the camera and say, well, only thing I can say, there will always be some shuffling and grinning Negroes.
That's correct. And Senator Lucas always says, if you're scared, let us know you're scared, exactly. And we won't elect you. Sometimes they don't quite say it. They say, I'm going to do what I need to do. I'm for our folks. And they get in office. And
that question is, they ain't scared, these black folks. These black folks manipulated to think they're going to get something back from the white man. They think they're going to get something back from the businessman.
Stuff back.
And they're focused. They ain't scared now. Some of them scared, but most of them are trying to get something. And when they're trying to get something, they will do what the master say do.
Yeah, we're going to start calling the roll too and telling, doing some specifics. But I don't like to sit and talk and then not give the receipts. So we're going to have some receipts. Patrick Davis says, are we afraid of power along with running for elected office? Where are the black lawyers who should be running for either mayor, county commission, or superior court judges? Republicans have strategically put themselves in a position via consolidation in which the political calendar has been changed from November to May.
Yes.
We need to start identifying potential candidates for county commission, districts 2, 5, 6, and 7, and 9 for 2028. The progressive black super majority must take back the county commission in 2028. And I say amen.
So do I.
Patrick Davis, you are absolutely right. There are some folks who could ask some questions. Now, I'll give it to Donis Bryant.
Yes.
That girl asks some questions. She studies. She reads up material.
She's good.
And she is one who knows what she's talking about. And she asks the right questions. She just doesn't have the help or the votes that she needs. There are some on there that I think they could just hold up a yes sign and they wouldn't ever have to say anything at all. Just yes on every single thing.
I mean, you have some that vote 100% whatever the mayor presents. Yeah. I don't mean 99%. They vote 100%.
Carol Spain is on with us today, and we welcome her. We love sparring with Carol. She says we also need someone to run against the tax commissioner. He doesn't have to sit there. There are plenty of people
and with business background. And that's a partisan position.
Yes, it is. It sure is. He runs as a Democrat.
I ran, and all the Republicans came over and voted in the Democratic primary.
So listen, I'm telling you something. They are more strategic than we are.
Of course they are. And this whole consolidation was a strategic move
It
by
was.
Republicans, Alan Peake and all those guys. And they said, like the gentleman that said about moving that election, we got rid of partisan election.
Right.
And if you're going to get rid of partisan election, why don't you have the election in November, especially in the presidential year? Because we know that that's when the greatest turnout in this county is the presidential year.
That's the strategic move they made.
Exactly.
But someone told me the other day they was out trying to register people to vote, and they got to a couple of people, black people. They said, "No, I'm not going to vote." They say, "Why? It don't make no difference."
See, it has been drilled into us.
We got to change that mindset.
We got our heads in those phones, TikTok and all that. And there are different videos that are on there that are discouraging our folks. And we're falling for that because our attention is taken up by the electronics, the technology. We have got to become self-thinkers, self-motivated.
And we got to vote. That's what we got to do. We just
when
elected.
We vote, what does Barack say?
When we vote, we win.
We win.
We win.
And that is absolutely true.
But you have a lot of Negroes in this town.
Don't vote.
They don't register. You got to register first.
Even when they register, they don't vote.
And
we just had an election that 5% of the vote turned out. 5%.
They don't register and they don't vote. If black people in this town registered and voted.
Well, we got to do something about that, Herbert. And you know, and like Elaine was saying, you can't walk off stage now, no matter how long you've been on stage. Elaine has been here a long time. You've been here a long time, but you all been doing stuff. You're not just here. You know, you were part of a voters league a long time ago, and you were getting people to vote, and you were,
but people had a desire to do something as a race. They had a desire, they saw a need, and they were fulfilling that need. It seems like now they're not, a lot of us just don't see where it's necessary. They've gotten complacent with getting the crumbs, getting nothing, and being discriminated against. And it's clear to me, and I'm sure it's clear to you two gentlemen, that there's an active campaign to keep us from voting.
Oh, no question about
Every day, the president of the United States is sending out executive orders which are making it more difficult for people of color to vote. He's sending as many people of color back somewhere as he possibly can. Why he's doing that, I don't know. It's just racism because they aren't registered to vote if they aren't citizens anyway. But there is an all-out effort. Let me Carol Spain, we've gotten her. She says we need to run somebody for tax commissioner. And Pastor Lisa says the mayor can't win a third term unless we vote him back in. Well, some other things have to happen legislatively first too, to even send that legislation back here. That's I don't know about
and that should just be dead. That should be off the table now. You know,
you could think it's off the table.
I said should be. I didn't say it would be. I said
well,
should be.
let's see what happens with that. And Carol says David should have never done that. Whatever she's talking about.
Introduce the thing. But
introduce them. I just explained that process. That if you're an elected state official, a senator or a representative, one of your duties is to carry forward and put in place, introduce legislation that is passed by your local governments.
Yeah. Let me ask you something.
And that was part of that process.
Let me ask you something.
What?
Do not take offense. If you had been there, would you have done it?
Don't say it. Don't say it. Then, if I'm going to be offended by it, don't ask me.
But I think now
because you're going to be offended by what I say.
Okay,
back.
Let's
go ahead, Mayor.
Well, let's say that David did what he was supposed to do. The process.
If Jack had been there, would he have done it?
Oh, of course not. I would not have. But by the same token, he did what he did But what happened was the system worked. The rest of the delegation said no. So that's it.
Right.
Unless the rest of the delegation says yes, that's the end of it.
That's right. And it is, that legislation is dead. It did not get the signatures, and that was it's not going anywhere unless somebody else brings it forward and introduces it.
It's going to be brought forth again. Watch and see.
Well, you know what? If it is, then the people need to express themselves.
Exactly.
Well, you don't need to beat up the messenger doing his or her job.
Yeah.
And this is the last time I'm going to explain how that particular process works.
Yeah.
By the way, y'all, David has opposition. He has opposition, Republican opposition.
Who is his opposition?
His opposition
Did she
is
get
a woman
jail
named
or something?
Tracy Wheeler. She is still, the last time I checked, she had not made bond because she was down in Sparta where she lived,
She's
drawing a
still in jail?
gun. She's still in jail. So we will see what happens. But the senator is still running. He needs your vote. You never know what can happen with these things.
We need to support David 100%.
Yes,
Oh, no question.
yes.
He'll win.
51 years of service,
He's
and
a good guy.
his knees may be bothering him, his legs may be hurting or whatever,
He's still
but that brain is
Yes,
still engaged, and a few other things are still engaged too, which we won't expound on.
But let's
anyway, is that X-rated? Bertice, you gotta pray for us.
Well,
you gotta pray for me.
You know, we're talking about 2028, but we have 2026 right before us, and we have a very capable woman that's running for governor, happens to be an African American.
Yes.
And I've heard some talk about black men not supporting her. I want you to know that every black man I know is supporting her.
Yeah.
And I encourage every black man and white man and yellow man and red man
I'm
to
not
support her
hearing that
because she
trash anymore.
Yeah.
After they lost out and fell for the okie doke, the banana in the tank or whatever it is, and didn't support Kamala Harris for president, and now they see
and didn't support our leader.
Didn't support
Stacey the way they should have.
Yeah.
But black folk, black men especially, don't vote.
Well, we got to start voting.
I know, but black folks don't go out and register people to vote. Most of the people registering people are women. Black men need to step it up and get out there and register people to vote. We a lot of black men, I talked to one the other day, say a woman should not be over a man.
That's nonsense. See, when you talk to someone like this, man, you just walk away from it.
Let me tell you something. What I'm saying, what we talk about, voters, potential voters, is in their mind. A lot of black folks say right now, a woman should not be in the pulpit.
There's some who don't allow them in the pulpit.
A woman should not be in a leadership
but
position.
They can raise money.
And then they say this: the Bible.
The Bible had women in leadership throughout the Bible.
Well,
a lot of them.
They can raise money for the pastor's aid, for the pastor's appreciation.
You have churches right here that were not allowed. They have a little microphone on the side. They would not allow a woman in the pulpit.
That's right.
I wouldn't go to that church.
That's right. That's right.
I wouldn't be a part of a church like that myself.
But they don't talk about it. But you go to some churches, and it's a lot.
But not just Baptist churches. We have to be clear here that the Catholics don't allow women to be preachers as well. You know,
right.
You can't be a priest in the Catholic. Doesn't mean it's right, but we don't have to.
After all of the progressive things that Catholicism has been a part of, they still say a woman cannot be a pope.
And can't be a priest.
Can't be a priest.
Patrick Davis has some additional comments. He says we're back to that third term. He says a third term is not likely for the mayor. However, there's a slim pathway for the third term. If Republicans win November, and it could be attached as a zombie bill, bypassing the local delegation, before next year's General Assembly session ends in 2027. However, if Keisha Lance Bottoms wins, she would veto any effort for a third term.
We are going to veto locally.
The
we're
local
going to
people, yes,
we're going to veto it because we're going to go out and vote against it, make sure it doesn't happen.
We don't show up to vote.
We're going to show up, though.
They haven't been showing up.
Well, we got to get them to show up. That's our responsibility.
Look at
all of us.
I'm for you, but look at the history.
Well,
we haven't showed up in all these years.
I'm not ready to throw up my head and say
I'm not throwing it up either, but we got to do something to change that whole process.
We have to keep working at it.
Exactly.
We have to keep working at it. Don Druitt said it's time for change. Chris Barfield and Mark Whitfield are two other potential mayoral candidates. I'm using their name because Mr. Druitt posted it in the chat.
Mark did call me. Mark Whitfield did call me. You know, he was a candidate before and dropped out before qualifying. Well, he wasn't a candidate, but he had announced. But he did tell me he is planning on running again. I don't know whether people know Mark, but
I don't know him.
Well, maybe that's his problem. That's the problem with Herbert. If you don't know him, Herbert, he has a problem.
I believe I remember him.
Elaine says she believes she remembers.
All right. Pastor Lisa says we give away and throw away our voting power. Carol Spain said she could hear the caller, but we just couldn't hear the caller. I am sorry, caller, but we could not hear you in here. Dunn agrees with you. Yes, remove the grocery tax. 4% equals about 1.7 million per year. Pastor Lisa, we have a majority chocolate city, but we won't get out and vote in unity. Patrick has a question for Herbert and Mayor Ellis. What are 3 questions you would like to ask Keisha Lance Bottoms?
I would like to know if she's going to support Atlanta to Macon Rail. Number one, that she's going to really put the entire weight of her office behind getting passenger rail going. That would be one. The other one, I would want her to ask her, will you introduce legislation to get rid of the penalty for young people who have been incarcerated for smoking marijuana? Will you wipe their thing clean? Because what we have a lot of young white men making billions of dollars selling marijuana, and we got young black boys going to jail and messing their records up for life because they smoked the joint. And it's just not fair. And we need to address that thing right here in this state.
And you got to address the job thing too, because you're drug tested in taking a job. And if marijuana is legal, I don't think any of it needs to be legalized, but that's just me. But you can't make something legal and then you turn around and you use it against them in a job, or they can be tested randomly and then fired. I mean, that's in conflict.
And the third thing I would like to ask her, are you willing to appoint a commission to study reparation in the state?
Oh, I think yours are easy. I think all 3 would be a yes. But what we're going to try and do,
I don't want to ask her anything.
We're going to have her, we're going to try and get her to stream an interview into the show before the election. We'll try for September and see if there's a way that we could get an interview with the next mayor, the next governor, the next governor of the state of Georgia, Keisha Lance Bottoms. And if you folks vote, if we all vote, she will win. And all the other down ballot candidates, we have a card here that has a list of all of the candidates, statewide candidates, and those who are running for United States Senator, Ossoff, and then governor, lieutenant governor, all of those. And then we have the local races too. These are all Democrats. I don't see a Republican that I would vote for in any of the races
There
at all.
are no good Republicans.
None.
At one time, they
None.
had people like Everett Dirksen was a decent guy. You had some other people that Rockefeller, Nelson Rockefeller was a decent guy. There's not any decent guys running Republican, because if they run Republican, is Trump tell them to do something, they do it. I mean, the guys, they was not going to approve the Attorney General to be Attorney General. I can't think of his name right now. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
But
whatever his name.
Donald Trump's personal.
But you're right. You're right.
But then he called them,
Blanche or something.
or whatever. He called them and told them. They came back with some flimsy excuse and voted. I don't know any. At some time, I found some decent ones somewhere. But right now, as Trump tell them to do something, most of the time, probably 99%,
He does it.
they do. In the House, whether it's a senator, they don't even have meetings, because he said, don't call no meetings, I'll handle everything.
It's white power. It's voter suppression.
And so
that's what
all
it's
of that's
all
going
about.
on, I said, I don't know. I mean, I'm not being facetious or nothing, but I don't know any decent Republicans.
Well,
you might know one that's
There's
decent.
none on this list that
Do
I'm
you know
voting
any,
for.
Jack?
I'm voting
I mean,
Democratic all
that's
the way.
not. I mean, one decent Republican. I don't know any.
All right, let me go through the
That's
remainder of
I'm
the
sorry.
comments. Carol Spain says it's time to work hard today until 2028 to get things in order, to get the right people in office. Pastor Lisa, the Democrats keep dividing among themselves. Patrick says Andrea Cook from District 5 and Brendolyn Bailey from District 9 are endorsed by Republican Lester Miller. Pastor Lisa says that the Republicans have no experience, but they get in there and they do their dirt. And we had 3 blacks that helped change the vote from November to May, stealing our voting strength. And I don't mind calling their names.
Call their names.
I call their names. What was their name?
James
Nikki
Beverly
Randall,
and
James Beverly, and Miriam Paris.
Harris. Yeah, that's what they
And
did.
you cannot walk away. It's in the book. We got the receipts, y'all. Let's see. We have not forgotten about their consolidation vote, and if you try to forget it, we're not going to let you forget it. And then support our Senator David Lucas. He is not scared. And Pastor Lisa says we are absolutely supporting Keisha Lance Bottom. Don says maybe it's time for a Black Macon Bib Men's March. That sounds like a good thing to me. Ignorance, why we need to educate this. That's why we need to educate the people. And Pastor Lisa says she wouldn't vote for a Republican either. And the last comment from Patrick, most Black men supported Kamala. However, only 48.5% of Black men did not participate in 2024 presidential election. 64% of Black women participated, a double-digit gap in regard to participation. We need an estimated 150,000 more Black men to participate in November. Carol, and there are a number of other comments that I can't get to. Pastor Lisa says we have yard signs for Keisha Lance Bottom, and her number is there, and we have 1 or 2 in the office of EL High School Academy. It is 4:00, y'all.
Wow.
That time goes by so fast. This has been wonderful. Where you going, Herbert? You couldn't get. All right. Well, we're still on the air, Herbert.
Just walk away.
We want to thank you. We want to thank you for tuning in. We'll see you again next Wednesday, 3 p.m. for another edition of Ask Elaine. Thank you, guests.
Right.